Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to make a mealie bread over the coals with some nice venison steaks to go with it. This is a really easy bread to make and it goes nicely with any barbecue. The ingredients are very simple. I've put everything together in a pot here, so you need a kilogram of self-raising flour, a can of corn, 2 eggs and a can of condensed milk, and then additionally you're going to need some butter, salt and milk. Before I start with the bread, I want to prepare the venison steaks because I want to leave them in marinade for about an hour before I put them on the grill. So here we have our 2 venison steaks. I'm going to prepare the marinade and then we're going to add the marinade to the meat in a bowl. So for the marinade, I'm going to start by adding 60 ml of vegetable oil, 60 ml of Worcester sauce, 60 ml of balsamic vinegar, 60 ml of soy sauce and 60 ml of honey. Then I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of steak seasoning, 1 tablespoon of lemon pepper, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, and then 1 tablespoon of your favorite meat rub. I'm now going to mix the marinade and then we can add it to the meat. Now we can add the marinade to the steak and then I'm going to close it with some cling film so it can soak in the marinade for about an hour. So let's start with the bread by adding 750 grams of self-raising flour, a can of corn, condensed milk, and then 2 eggs. Now I'm going to mix everything together. I'm just mixing all the ingredients and making sure we have even consistency right through. We want ideally to have a thick dough mixture. So the mixture is becoming a bit dry now, so I'm going to add a little bit of milk. The reason this bread is so easy to make is you don't have to let it rest, so you can put it straight onto the fire. This is the pot I'm going to use to bake the bread in, so let's add some butter to it. Now I'm going to sprinkle some flour in the pot so it will just make it easier for the bread to come out once it's baked. Now we can add our bread mixture to the pot. before I put the bread on the fire, I'm going to put the lid on and then close it with some aluminum foil, because I'm going to put some coals on the top so the bread can bake from the top as well. So I'm now going to place some coals into our braai here, and then we're going to put our bread on top of the coals. Then I'll put some coals on top of the lid as well. Put the bread on top. One thing I don't want to do is I don't want to burn this bread, so there's no point in rushing, so it's better to have a small fire and controlling it than having a big fire and then burning our bread. Right, now that the bread is on the fire, I'm going to leave it for about 50 minutes, but I'll check in a few times just to make sure the coals are still warm enough and we don't need to add some more coals. Now we can carry on with the venison steak, so I'm going to give them a quick sear on each side, and then I'm going to move them over to some indirect heat. I'm going to add some salt to the steak. We can give them a quick turn. I'm now going to move the steak over to the indirect heat, and I'll close the lid so they can cook a bit. Let's check the temperature. So we've got an internal temperature of 124 degrees Fahrenheit now. 125, so our venison steaks are ready. I'm going to take them off to grill now. See how nicely our venison steaks are done. So I'm going to check on the bread now. So let's check on our bread here. I'm going to take the coals off. I'm going to remove the foil and we'll see how the bread's looking. So I've taken the foil off now. We've left the bread for about 50 minutes. Let me take the lid off. It looks perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a poke with one of these skewers, and if there's any dough that still sticks onto the stick, it means that the bread's not cooked inside and we must let it go for a little bit longer. So let's just check quickly. It comes out clean, so I think this bread is done, guys. I'm going to take this off the fire now. So there we go, guys, our mealie bread is done, the venison steaks are done. I'm going to cut the steak now, then we'll see what it looks like on the inside. So let's cut the steak here. See, there's nice juice still coming out of it. Cut another piece off here. I think it's cooked very nice. There we go. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. Also, check out the links for my social media pages in the description down below.